The 1980s were a time when American automakers faced massive challenges. One iconic brand almost vanished forever, until a few brilliant designs changed automotive history. Get ready to look back at the 10 Chrysler 1980s cars that saved the company from collapse. The Plymouth Reliant was introduced in 1981 and immediately became a symbol of American resilience. As one half of the famous K-car duo, the Reliant offered struggling families an affordable and fuel-efficient way to get around town. Chrysler was on the brink of bankruptcy, and Lee Iacocca knew they needed a practical family car to win back the public. The Reliant delivered with its simple design, roomy interior, and front-wheel drive that handled wonderfully in bad weather. It was not the flashiest vehicle on the road, but it was incredibly dependable and cheap to repair. Millions of Americans remember piling into a Plymouth Reliant for summer road trips or daily rides to school. This modest sedan sold in massive numbers and provided the crucial cash flow that Chrysler desperately needed. Without the Plymouth Reliant, the company simply would not have survived the decade. The Dodge Aries was the mechanical twin to the Reliant, and it played an equally vital role in bringing Chrysler back from the edge of ruin. Launched alongside its Plymouth sibling, the Aries gave Dodge dealerships a much-needed boost in foot traffic. The marketing campaign proudly declared it as the pride of America, tapping into a deep sense of patriotism. Families loved the boxy yet charming styling, and the car was available as a sedan, coupe, or practical station wagon with classic wood-grain paneling. The Aries was heavily praised for its incredible fuel economy, which was a huge selling point after the gas crises. Driving a Dodge Aries felt like a smart financial choice, and it quickly became a top-selling vehicle. The sheer volume of Aries models rolling off the assembly lines meant that Chrysler could finally breathe a sigh of relief. The Dodge Caravan completely revolutionized how American families traveled when it hit dealership lots in 1984. Before the Caravan, large families had to rely on giant, gas-guzzling station wagons or uncomfortable full-size vans. Lee Iacocca championed the idea of a minivan, creating a brand-new vehicle category that nobody even knew they needed. The Caravan was built on a modified K-car platform, which meant it handled just like a regular passenger car while offering massive interior space. Moms and dads across the nation instantly fell in love with the easy-to-use sliding side door and the removable rear seats. It was the perfect vehicle for hauling groceries, taking kids to soccer practice, or packing up for a camping trip. The Dodge Caravan was a runaway success that generated billions of dollars in profit and permanently cemented Chrysler as a dominant force. The Plymouth Voyager arrived right next to the Caravan and shared the heavy lifting of the massive minivan craze that swept the nation. While the Dodge version was marketed with a slightly sportier edge, the Voyager was aimed squarely at the traditional family buyer. The Magic Wagon, as it was affectionately called, featured a comfortable ride and fantastic visibility that made driving a breeze. Many of us have fond memories of sitting in the back of a Plymouth Voyager, playing games with siblings while watching the American landscape roll by. The front-wheel drive layout gave it excellent traction in the snow, making it a favorite choice in northern states. Dealerships could barely keep the Voyager in stock because the demand was absolutely staggering. The incredible sales numbers of this iconic minivan provided a massive financial safety net for Chrysler to fund future projects. The Dodge Omni actually debuted in the late 1970s, but its continued success throughout the 80s was absolutely critical for Chrysler. It was one of the first American front-wheel drive subcompact cars, designed specifically to fight back against the flood of small imported vehicles. The Omni was a spunky little 5-door hatchback that offered surprising cargo space and fantastic fuel efficiency. Young adults, college students, and budget-conscious buyers flocked to the Omni because it was affordable to buy and incredibly cheap to run. Chrysler even introduced high-performance versions like the Omni GLH, proving that an economy car could also be a blast to drive. This little hatchback was tough, reliable, and perfectly suited for city driving and tight parking spaces. The steady, reliable sales of the Dodge Omni kept cash flowing into Chrysler during their darkest financial days. The Plymouth Horizon was the corporate twin to the Omni, and it carved out its own massive slice of the economy car market. At a time when gas prices were wildly unpredictable, the Horizon gave working-class Americans a dependable way to commute without breaking the bank. It featured a simple, uncluttered interior and a practical hatchback design that made loading up groceries or luggage incredibly easy. The Horizon was built with a rugged determination that perfectly matched the spirit of the people who bought it. Many families purchased a Horizon as a reliable second car, and it often became the vehicle that teenagers learned how to drive in. Chrysler continuously updated the car throughout the 1980s to keep it highly competitive. The Horizon sold over 1 million units during its long production run, quietly generating steady profits year after year. The Chrysler LeBaron brought a much-needed touch of luxury and glamour back to the struggling automaker in the 1980s. Built on a stretched version of the reliable K-car platform, the LeBaron offered premium features at a price that middle-class Americans could actually afford. The most famous version was the stunning LeBaron convertible, which brought open-air driving back to the American mainstream after a long absence. Cruising down the highway in a LeBaron convertible with the wind in your hair made you feel like $1,000,000. It featured plush seating, elegant styling, and even a futuristic digital dashboard in later models. The car also became famous for its electronic voice alert system, which politely reminded drivers that a door was ajar. The LeBaron was a massive image booster for Chrysler, proving they could build aspirational cars that people truly desired. The Dodge Daytona injected a massive dose of excitement and sporty performance into Chrysler's 1980s lineup. As a sleek front-wheel drive sports coupe, the Daytona was designed to appeal to younger buyers who wanted aggressive styling and thrilling speed. It featured hidden pop-up headlights, a low aerodynamic profile, and a driver-focused cockpit that felt like the inside of a fighter jet. Under the hood, Chrysler offered powerful turbocharged engines that gave the Daytona serious muscle on the streets. It was a car that turned heads wherever it went, and it proved that front-wheel drive vehicles could be genuine performance machines. The Daytona was heavily featured in television shows and movies, making it a cultural icon of the decade. By offering a genuinely fun and exciting car, the Daytona helped shake off Chrysler's boring image and attracted enthusiastic buyers to their dealerships. The Chrysler New Yorker of the 1980s redefined what a traditional American luxury sedan could be in a modern era. It took the proven reliability of the K-car platform and wrapped it in classic styling cues like a vinyl roof, wire wheel covers, and a majestic chrome grille. Inside, passengers were treated to incredibly soft, pillow-tufted velour or leather seats that felt like sitting on a comfortable living room sofa. The New Yorker was designed for the mature buyer who wanted a smooth, quiet, and deeply comfortable ride for long highway journeys. It came loaded with premium features, including power everything, premium sound systems, and advanced electronic displays. This luxurious sedan was highly profitable for Chrysler, as buyers were willing to pay a premium for its upscale badge. The strong sales numbers provided a steady stream of vital, high-margin revenue. The Dodge Shadow arrived in the mid-1980s as a sporty and versatile compact car that perfectly rounded out Chrysler's lineup. It was designed to replace the aging Omni, offering a much more modern look while keeping the price tag completely affordable. The Shadow cleverly disguised its practical hatchback design to look like a traditional sedan or coupe, giving buyers the best of both worlds. It was a fantastic first car for millions of teenagers and a reliable daily commuter for working professionals across the country. Chrysler offered a wide range of options, from economical base models to thrilling turbocharged versions that packed a serious punch. The Shadow was known for being incredibly durable, with many of them staying on the road for hundreds of thousands of miles. It was a massive sales success that brought consistent volume and profit to the brand. Which of these classic 1980s cars is your absolute favorite? Please comment with your answer below and subscribe to American Rewind.